What's up, carnivores? Zach here with American Smoke, and today we are gonna make the coveted, the legendary, you've probably heard of it, 3, 2, 1 ribs. I can't believe I've never made this video. It's a very common practice, especially for people that are new to the barbecue world and people that are wanting to have consistent results with their ribs. What we're talking about with the 3-2-1 method, that is where you cook at 225 degrees most of the time. Most people are going to say 225. 3 hours in the smoke. That means they're just sitting in the smoker. 2 hours wrapped in foil, or you can go butcher paper, and then 1 hour-ish to set the sauce and reconstitute the bark on your ribs. And so that's the process we're gonna be going through today. Let's get it. So what you wanna find for yourself is a rack of spare ribs. Now you can either use untrimmed spare ribs, or you can use what I've got here today, which are spare ribs that are already cut down to the St. Louis style, which means that you've just mainly got the major bones and all of the smaller, thinner portions of the rib meat and bones are trimmed off. These are Swift ribs, and I'm gonna give these a second chance. I got some of these the other day and made a video with them, and I just wasn't super pleased about how they turned out because of the amount of meat that was on the bones. I typically go for Prairie Fresh ribs or Smithfield ribs, but I felt around on several different racks and I found these, and they felt just a little extra thick and meaty, and so I think we're gonna be okay on this rack. All right, so our first step is to dry off the ribs. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna trim some of this excess fat, which this rack right here has a particularly large amount of, more than what you typically see. Just have a sharp knife and just go through there, cut that off. Some of that will render, but definitely not all of it. And if you're the type that doesn't mind a good, bite of fatty tissue, then just, leave it on there. That's completely up to you. But this is a fairly large amount of fat for ribs. You're also gonna have a flap of meat right here, and you can take that and you can use it if you want to and cook it and make some pork tacos or something. I've seen it used for several different things, but today we're just gonna be removing this, and we're gonna probably throw it on the smoker and feed it to the old K9 unit. So let's go ahead and we'll get the membrane off now. I've got videos showing different ways to remove the membrane in case you're curious. One way is you can go in from the middle. Another way is you can come in from the end, find the edge, and it's very slick, and that's where the paper towel comes into play. And don't just start pulling. Try to get a good start, and that's gonna increase your chances of getting that membrane off in one piece. And just pull that right off of there like that. Once you've got all that removed, look over the back side of your ribs one last time for any big pieces of fat, which there was some nice chunks right here underneath the membrane. We're just gonna go ahead and remove those. Make sure you don't cut into the meat. Everything else on this side looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. Flip this rack over, see if there's any work needs to be done on this side. We've got a super thin piece right here. We're gonna get rid of that. Little extra fatty tissue down here on the end. Clean that up as well. Check this end. Yep, we got some pieces here. And you can leave all this on. You don't have to clean this off. Now on this end here, you've got some much thinner pieces of pork, much thinner portions of rib, whereas down here they're much thicker. And typically on a St. Louis cut, what you're gonna have is the first 8 or 9 bones. And if you want to, you can count those. But for me, I'm just gonna come to about right here, and we're gonna make a trim. And so now, as far as our 3-2-1 ribs are concerned, we've got them nice and trimmed up and ready for the next phase in the process. All right, so once you've got everything trimmed up the way you want it, if you wanted to trim up and the membrane removed, it's time to go on with your binder. And all you're gonna do is just a little bit of mustard, smear that on there. The heavier you go with the mustard, the more seasoning it's going to hold. If you want more smoke flavor in your barbecue out of a pellet smoker, use a little bit less seasoning, and that's gonna help out. If you really want to enhance the flavor of your seasoning, heavier binder, heavier seasoning. Today, what we're gonna be seasoning these ribs up with is an awesome barbecue seasoning from our friends over at Gladesman's Best. This is their original barbecue seasoning rub. They've got another one called Controlled Burn that's excellent, and a hot sauce. So if you're looking to try some awesome seasonings and sauces from an American brand, family owned, make sure to check out Gladesman's Best. Let's go ahead and get this onto the back of these pork ribs, nice and heavy. Do not rub it, pat it on. When you rub, you smear, and when you smear, you're gonna have areas that are uneven. Once you've got that on, we're gonna hit it up with a little bit of large grit, or in the barbecue world, we call 16 mesh black pepper. I do this because I like pepper heavy barbecue, and it looks really good in the finished product to have these large grits of black pepper on your barbecue. So just remember, you eat with your eyes first. All right, now that we've got that on, we're going to flip over the ribs and do the same thing on the top side. I always start bone side first. That way, when I put everything on this side, it stays nice and even and pretty when I put it onto my pellet smoker. All right, so our ribs have sweated on nicely. If you're not familiar with, why you let it sweat on, is because the sodium in the rubs help to pull moisture out of the meat and then further help to bind it to the meat. So as the moisture's getting pulled out, seasoning's getting pulled in, and that's the reason you let it sweat on for a little while. So you wanna be careful when you're putting these onto the smoker. Make sure you don't disturb your seasoning. That's a thing of beauty right there, so be careful with it. Once you get them onto the smoker, bunch them up just a little bit, and that's gonna help them to appear a little bit more meaty and thicker as they cook. We'll be coming back here in just a little while to spritz these with a half and half mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. Oh, I forgot my K9 unit snacks. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get those on there as well. I'm not gonna say you need to bunch those up or anything. Just throw them on there, All right. All right, so I've made a last minute decision. Since we're doing this 3-2-1 process, I want to kind of track the temperatures. And so I've got this Smoke X4 and one of these Pro Series needle probes that we can get in between the bones on these ribs. And I want to sort of track the progress of the ribs as they cook. We're going to come down here on this thicker end and go right in between these bones. That's one of the benefits of these needle probes, is that they can go right in between the bones of ribs. So we're going to leave that in there, track the progress of the ribs as they cook. That way we kind of know what effect does the 3-2-1 process have. All right, so the ribs have been in the smoker for about an hour and a half. The Smoke X4 receiver has me at about 151 degrees internal, so that's interesting. Typically, meat hits the stall around that 160, 165 degree mark, so we're gonna see where that's at around that 3-hour mark when we're supposed to wrap. But this is gonna be our first spritz. I didn't want to spritz too early because I wanted the seasoning to really cook on to the meat. So let's check it out, see how they're doing. Oh, mama, wow. Even our little chunky K9 treats over there are looking good. Yeah, that Gladesman's Best seasoning has really awesome color, and then the smoke that we've got on there. And so you want to spray it enough to where it moistens the surface of the meat, but not enough to where seasoning runs off. So just keep that in mind when you're spritzing. All right, let's close it up for another hour and a half. We'll keep an eye on it with the Smoke X4. Should be good to go. All right, guys, so I'm inside, and I'm being totally worthless. And I look over at my monitor here, and it says I'm already at 177 degrees. And I'm like, whoa, what in the world? Why'd they shoot up like that? And then I remembered I had put some more pecan wood in my secondary burn pot for my wood chunks, and I never came down and closed it, so it was smolder. Come check this out. This wood's been in here for like 20 minutes. It should not be burnt up, and it definitely is. So that just was a flame and glory in there, and my ribs have gotten overly hot. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer these up and over into this top shelf to slow down a little bit so it's not right there over that burn plate. And we're gonna close it back up after a little bit of a spritz. This is gonna pull the temp down. If you monitor the temp after a spritz, you're gonna notice that it pulls the temp of your barbecue down. It's a evaporative cooling, just like when you sweat. So I'm putting a good soak on there, pull that temp down a little bit. Go ahead and get the dog treats as well. Can't be having old Tua mad at me. Shut this thing down, because we've still got almost 45 minutes left in our first 3 hours. And so the fact that it's just almost out of the stall is not where we want it. So we're gonna slow things down a bit and come back. Okay, so we're at the 3-hour mark. So now it's time to wrap up in a double layer of foil. This is heavy duty foil. You can use 1 layer of heavy duty if you want. I just go with 2. That way I don't have to worry about nearly as much anyway, popping holes in the foil with the rib bones. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put down some butter, a couple pats of butter. I came down here without a knife, so we'll be spooning this butter, which I think is gonna work anyway. I don't know exactly how butter works, but I think even if you cut it with a spoon, it's gonna work. We're gonna put down some brown sugar. This is gonna be the meat side is going into this. And so just a few tablespoons. Make sure it's in the center. Then we're putting down a little bit of Mike's hot honey. You can use honey, hot honey. Last thing to put down is a little bit extra of the rub into our concoction here. And this is just gonna melt down into a liquid, and the rib meat is gonna sit in that and just get all nice and juicy and delicioso. So, okay, let's see what we're working with. Man, those look pretty, pretty, pretty. Lots of color, lots of smoke on them. We did manage to save the ribs by moving them up to the top rack, away from the heat deflector plate. What I did was I spritzed them about once every 7 or 8 minutes for about 3 times, and that evaporative cooling put a lot of heat out of the ribs. All right, so we've got these meat side down into the sugar and butter. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of this same stuff on the top, a few pats of butter on the top. You might find that you don't prefer the texture of the meat as much. You might find that you prefer it more. Everybody's a little bit different. You will get a much more tender bite. The meat will be extremely tender at the end of this cook. Honey for the money. And a little bit extra of the rub. So now we're going into the 2-hour part of this process. We're gonna go just straight over on this, just like that. Meat side down, straight over. Try to get it sort of tight on there. Then all you do is just bring this straight over. I like to make it mold to the ribs. Don't press too hard because you don't want to put holes in it. That's ready to go back into the smoker for 2 hours. I'm gonna find a soft spot right there, and we're gonna go straight into those ribs, just like that. Now we can continue to monitor our temperature to see how it performs over the next 2 hours. Take a look at our little doggy treats. I don't think the dog's gonna get these, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. They're coming along nicely. Let's go ahead and close it up. Set the timer for 2 hours. No need for spritzing or anything on this round, just 2 hours, and we'll be back. All right, so we have reached the end of the 2 hour mark. So we got 3 hours, 2 hours. Now we're about to let them chill for just a minute while we make up some sauce. And then they're in there till the sauce is set. Typically, like I said earlier in the video, you can call that the 1-3-2-1. You can leave them for the whole hour if you want. Typically, the way that I do it is to put the sauce on them, put them back into the smoker, and then once the sauce gets the look that I'm looking for, pull the ribs. So let's go ahead, get them out of the smoker, and get our sauce whipped up. I've checked them in a few different places. Hopefully this does not melt my lid. I don't know if it will or not. All right, so we're just gonna set this on the table, and we're going to prop it up with a spoon. All right. All right, so while that's chilling there, we're gonna go ahead and get our homemade, not homemade barbecue sauce mixed up. You don't have to use a whole lot of this. With some Sweet Baby Ray's, maybe, you know, 1/3 of a cup. Then we're gonna be hitting that up with a little bit of Gladesman's Best's original hot sauce. This is a sweet heat. It's got some pineapple in it. We're gonna add maybe a hefty tablespoon of that. A little bit of lime juice. Lime, why you ask lime? Because I didn't have no lemon. I thought I had lemon, I didn't. We're gonna hit it up with just a little extra sweet, a little extra heat. Some of this Mike's hot honey, tiny little dollop of that. We're gonna pop it one more time with a little bit of this rub. All these measurements are around a teaspoon to tablespoon, something like that. Obviously, you know, make to taste. And then we're just gonna mix that up. And really my main goal was to add a little extra flavor, but to thin out that Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce a little bit, so it's more of a runny glaze. Let's try it out. It's got good spice, good sweetness. We're gonna roll with it. We'll get these opened up. We're gonna make a huge mess, so y'all just get ready for that. I was not prepared when I came down here. That's okay. Y'all make barbecue at home, so y'all get it. Oh. Got some pullback on those bones. Looking much better. We're gonna flip these babies over. Take a look, man. Those look awesome. So good. We're gonna give them just a second to breathe. I'm gonna let some of that heat out because they are at 200 degrees, and so I don't want them to overcook. Let the heat out just a little bit, and then we're gonna put the sauce on there. And what you'll see is that steam lets out. You're gonna see the surface dry up a little bit, and it'll take that sauce better if you give it just a moment. So we've let a little bit of the heat out of the ribs so that they don't overcook during the sauce setting process. Just wanna dip this out and sort of just dab it on there. Got the Sweet Heat Glazedman's Best 3-2-1 ribs. I don't know about y'all, but I am pumped up. Although I am not as pumped as I normally am. And I'll tell y'all why. I just ate a massive cheeseburger. I got hungry. The smell of these ribs tormenting me, man. I had to go get one. All right, so that's on there. And it's ready to go back into the smoker. A little bit of a drippy. Try not to let it fall apart. All right, shut her down. We'll be checking on it here in about 20-25 minutes. If it needs a little bit more time, that's what we're gonna give it. We're gonna leave our little dog food, Zach food out. Not gonna put that back in. So we're just gonna see how these ribs turn out. We'll see y'all in just a little bit. All right, everything is rocking and rolling. The ribs are looking pretty close to perfect, if I do say so myself. Let's get them out of here. Ooh, those are pretty, son. Pretty. All right, so we're gonna let these rest for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna eat one. All right, so we are at the end of our 3-2-1 ribs. Now comes the best part. We're gonna try them out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this forward just a little bit here, and we're gonna put just a little bit of sauce onto the cutting board. Now this is sort of a competition trick. You sort of line it down the cutting board like that right there, and then you take your brush and you just paint that onto your cutting board. And what this does is it prevents the sauce from binding to the cutting board and messing up this beautifulness that we've got right here. So you just kind of make a nice moist, not easily adhered to surface. Once you got that done, we're just gonna flip them over into that sauce. And that way you can see the bones, because if you cannot see the bones on spare ribs, they can be very difficult to cut. Let's go ahead and make a few cuts on these. When you're cutting these ribs, if you want them to be pretty, you want to do more back and forth. Have a sharp knife and do more back and forth than pressure. That way you get a nice clean line without any tearing. Oh, mama. And there's our cut up ribs, sort of disassembled and reassembled. Nice juicy pork ribs. Great smoke penetration on them. Great color on these. Tender, juicy. Go in for that bite. Beautiful bite. Great texture. Delicious. Got a nice little kick of spice from that barbecue sauce we made. That Glazedman's Best hot sauce. Really good. Y'all make sure to check that out. Check out Glazedman's Best barbecue rub as well. Y'all come by American Smoked Carnivores on Facebook sometime. I'm in there every day. Thanks for watching. Smoke on, and I'll see y'all in the next video.